HD setups and that. 1, 2, 3. I was scared to dance in the dark. Okay, welcome my fellow producers to the producer guide of 2023. Now I hear you wondering, like, what is the producer guide of 2023? So let me explain quickly. So I've been producing for a few years and always had the dream of doing music full time. But it wasn't until like a year ago that I really decided to take things more seriously and make a plan and really go after it, you know? And in this past year, I kind of learned a lot about staying focused, making a plan, and some mindset tips that just really help to stay like motivated, but also happy, I guess. So that's basically what I want to share with you here in this video. So whether you're a beginner producer or been producing for a few years, I think everybody can get something from this video. And if anything, you'll definitely find some motivation. So the 4 areas that I want to talk about in this video is making a plan and having a plan, not just a dream, how to stay disciplined, mindset tips, and taking care of yourself. In the first years of producing, I always knew I wanted to do music full time, but I never really made a good plan and really went after it. I just felt really passionate about it and I was just having a lot of fun, which is obviously the good thing, the right thing. But I never like realized that, okay, if I really want to make this happen, I have to be more precise. I have to write down how I'm going to do it. And that's basically what I started doing 1 year ago. So just to say right off the bat, your plan will change as you go, but it's good to always have a plan for every stage of your career. This way you're much more focused and it's easier to get the work done because you know what you have to do. All right, so you're asking me, what does a plan look like? Well, it just starts by asking yourself the most basic questions, you know, like, what do you want from this? What's your goal? What kind of producer do you want to be? So for most people, it's just probably to make a living doing what they love most, making music. But there's still many different ways that you can do this. So you have to think about, like, what kind of producer do you want to be? Do you want to chase placements, sell online leases, make content for producers, sell loop kits, collab sales, be more behind the scenes, or really be out there, you know, recording yourself like I would be doing right now? And the list really goes on and on. So you really have to think about that first before you can construct your plan properly. Once you know what kind of producer you want to be, you also have to think about how you're going to promote yourself. The most important part about eventually making a living from your music is all about the marketing and the networking. If you're making loops, you need to get in the habit of regularly sending out loops. If you're just making them and they're not going anywhere, you're never going to get anywhere. If you're selling beats, you need to get in the habit of regularly marketing your beats. If you're selling products, you need to get these products to people. The more you do this, the more you do the marketing and networking, the more eventually you will find success with the stuff you're doing. For a long time, I was always just uploading my daily beat to YouTube. Eventually, I realized that's not going to be enough, you know? That's like one thing that you can do, but you should do much more. And eventually, your level of success is really determined by how much marketing you do, how much networking you do, you know? How many emails do you send a day? How many videos do I upload a day? For me, and probably for most, the marketing and networking is like the non-fun part, you know? It's not the part where you're making music. You just have to send emails or do other stuff, which not really that nice to do, but it's part of it. And if you want to be successful, you should almost be spending more time doing the marketing networking than you are actually making music. Okay, so second point, now you've made a good plan, you know what you want to do, you've written down what you need to do, what kind of content you need to make or whatever, if you should send emails, if you should make loops, what you should implement in your weekly routine, let's say. But now it comes to actually staying disciplined and staying on track to getting these things done. Personally, I've always struggled with staying on track, or at least I've always felt like I want to do more, but I end up not doing more because I get distracted, things get in the way. I'm still doing school as well, so that's always going to be there. But this year, I really tried to do my best to work as hard as I can, and I've been pretty happy with most of this year. So the first thing I want to say is if you want to do music full time, then you should also treat it like it's full time. You got to work on music every week, if not every day, and work towards your goals every week, if not every day. Everybody has a different schedule, and it's not always easy to stay on track, but you got to find what works for you. One thing everybody should do is write and plan your tasks out for the week. What really helped me was getting into a daily routine, and I'd usually wake up in the morning quite early and get a bunch of my goals already done for the day. And this would mean that later in the day, if I had school things going on or other stuff that I would get distracted by usually, it would be okay because I already completed my tasks early in the morning. If you want to learn more about how to be more disciplined and build better habits, there's a lot of good books out there. One book that I can recommend is Atomic Habits. And even just reading this book every morning gave me a lot of motivation to get the day started and just be on track. Also, certain things like scheduling your posts and having set days when you're going to upload really helps to build your routine and build those habits, you know? If you upload tight beats, schedule your posts ahead of time so you're not doing things last minute and you can plan out when you're going to upload. If you're uploading loop kits or other content, videos on YouTube, and have a weekly routine of when you're going to upload, you know? Every Sunday I'm going to upload, every Wednesday I'm going to upload. This way you get into the habit of uploading and it becomes more and more easy over time. I always like to to use Sunday to plan out my week, looking at what I need to complete this week and then writing it in my planner on what day I'll complete it. This will also hold you accountable, and you will feel bad, or at least you should feel bad, if you didn't complete something from the week before. So to take this up a level, let me introduce you to the concept of an accountability partner. As the name says, it's basically somebody to hold you accountable, and it could be anybody really, but it's best when this person also has their own goals, and it's even better if they're also working in the same area. So for me, the best ideal scenario is another producer, and for most of this year I've actually been calling with the one and only Dredion, David M to the D, and yeah, we would call every Sunday to discuss our goals. We would have a Google sheet where we would update our goals and set new goals for the week. Then we would tick them off. We would highlight the ones we didn't manage to do in red and usually move them for the next week, and we would just talk about ideas in general. It was honestly a really good way to get motivated on a Sunday again, to start the week off right. And sometimes when I didn't even feel like going into the call, or I was feeling kind of very unmotivated, this call always got me ready to be eager again and start the week. So again, shout out to Dredion. Alright, so next up, I just want to talk about a couple mindset tips. I think your mindset is so important if you want to become successful. Let's get the first thing out the way. Stop making excuses, man. You don't need that piece of equipment. You don't need to wait until you have more time, until you're done with school, until you're done with your job, until you feel ready, until you can afford something. Whatever you're waiting for, it's most likely an excuse. You have everything you need right now already, or at least to get started to a certain degree. So get to it. Next thing, if you're doing this for money or any other reason than the love for music, you're not gonna last. And there's much better ways to make money. If you're really money hungry, take an e-commerce course or study business, and this will be a much more efficient way. With that being said, even if the love for music is there, it's easy to fall into the trap of looking at plays and likes and views, sales, streams, stuff like that. We all want to be successful, and these are the statistics that in the online world do reflect a certain level of success, but it takes time and consistency to build up these numbers. So if you keep thinking about them, especially in the beginning when they're non-existent, you're gonna give up very, very soon because the numbers don't reflect what you're hoping for. So although it's easier said than done, you really need to try to derive your happiness and fulfillment from the work you put in every week. That's the stuff that you can control, not the numbers, the plays, and the likes. At the end of the week, you should look at yourself and think whether you completed all the tasks that you set out to do. And that's all you can do. And you just have to do that week out, week in, week out. And then the numbers and whatever, the sales, the plays, it will all follow. But if you keep thinking about them, you're going to give up way too soon. If you think about it, whether you're successful in 1, 5, or 10 years, you still need to show up every day. It's not like the moment you become successful, you can just let the magic happen and sit back. No, the successful people still show up every day to maintain that success. So you still need to show up every day and do the work. So you might as well just focus on showing up and doing the work. An encouraging point to think about is that growth is exponential. In your early years of grinding, especially to uploading to social media platforms, you feel like you're making very little progress compared to all the big things that are going on around you. It feels like at this speed, you're never going to reach your goals, which is true. At this speed, you would never reach your goals. But that's the thing. Growth is exponential, meaning that your speed is always going to improve. And it's not going to improve like this. It's going to improve like this. That's what exponential means. This applies really to anything in your life. Learning a new skill, numbers online. I'll give you a quick example with my YouTube channel. It took me about 1 year to get 100 subscribers. Now, 2 years later, I have over 3,000 subscribers, and every month I get more than 100 subscribers. If I was to move at the pace of my first year, it would take me 10 years to gain 1,000 subscribers. But luckily, you keep moving faster and faster. And that's just a nice thing to think about, that the early years are really the toughest years because the progress is so slow. You know, the exponential curve grows like this. And then towards the end, it all starts moving so fast, you know? Man, and my last point is just to take care of yourself, you know? I've noticed for myself that I can complete my tasks better, I make better music, I feel better, I feel happier when I take care of my mental, physical, and social health. You gotta find a routine of working hard, but not overworking yourself, and meeting all your needs every week. This way you won't burn out and you can work continuously for a long time. What's the point of staying up late, working for a week straight? Let's say 2 weeks, let's say a month straight if you gotta take a month off. Make sure you work out every week, eat good, get enough sleep, see friends and family, and take some time every day to relax and just shut off fully. Still work as hard as you can, but find a way of working hard that you can work hard continuously without burning out. And yeah, man, that's basically it. I just felt like sharing these points because I thought I would have found them useful 1 year ago, and maybe in a year I'll have new points again. So hopefully you enjoyed this style of video. I've never really recorded a video like this. I'm sitting on a couch. I'm sitting on a couch with a mic. I mean, there's some baller setups right here, man. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, if you got some value from this, then make sure to like this video and just leave a comment on anything, if you want me to go more detail into something. And let me know what you think of this as well, because, you know, I upload sample packs. I'm still going to continue upload sample packs, but I also want to make more content, you know. And yeah, helping people and, you know, giving advice and stuff is kind of something I enjoy. So I was like thinking, you know, let me obviously make tutorials, but maybe something like this could also be a regular thing on the channel. So let me know what you think. Much love to everybody, and peace.